Hey guys, it's Kaylin here with Full Purpose and Heart, and it is Wellness Wednesday. So let's have a little chat about how our weeks have been going, how my weeks have been going, and some tips that will help us get through the holiday season. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so it's Wellness Wednesday. I've been doing these series for a couple of weeks now, and my health has not been going great, and I haven't really been putting a whole lot of effort into trying to make my goals. So I joined a health challenge kind of at the beginning of the holiday season back in November with the intent of it was going to motivate me and keep me like on par. But when it all boiled down to it, my heart was just not in it. My brain was not in it. You know, I do good for a handful of days. I was actually really good for like the first week, dropped a couple pounds, felt really good about it. But then as soon as that was over, I don't know what happens, guys. Like, I just kind of fall off the wagon and don't ever want to get back on. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm feeding the kids their cold cereal and I'm getting the husband out the door, and like the idea of having like porridge or like an omelet or something for breakfast like doesn't really excite me, because I'm trying to like clean up the kitchen from the day before, and then before I know it, it's 9 o'clock and I'm like, I'm starving, I just need to eat something. So then I just eat whatever I feel like, and then snack time comes, or lunchtime, or dinner, and it's all not going well. It's not going well. So I've been doing a lot of thinking the past few days as I was preparing for this video, and kind of what did I want to pinpoint for myself. And if I were on the other end of the computer screen watching a Wellness Wednesday video, what would I want to hear that would motivate me? And so after I contemplated that, what I decided I would want to hear is a plan of action for the coming days. I'm having my whole family come into town. There's going to be about 15 people coming for Christmas, and they're going to be here for the whole week because they're coming from out of state and it's a long drive. And we don't get to see each other very much. It's just an opportunity to get together, and so I'm hosting everybody here at my home. That's been giving me a lot of stress, just to like do the meal planning and make sure that there's going to be enough food for everyone, and yeah, and all, you know, just the stress that comes from having guests in your home, especially for a while. So in preparation of that, I've kind of been deciding, here are a couple of things that I want to do to make the holidays not as, I don't know, not as much of a step backwards as I think that they could be if I just kind of went into them not thinking about it. So here are a couple of things that I'm thinking about to try and help me get into the holidays, and hopefully you find some motivation in there, and that your holidays too can be at least stationary instead of moving a step backwards. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll be able to take a step forward. Okay, so let's talk about tip number one, or my strategy number one. So it's a tradition for my family to get together on Christmas Day and have just like a bunch of munchy food throughout the whole day. We have a really nice, like our official holiday meal will be on Christmas Eve, and then just during the day we have like leftovers, and we have, you know, artichoke dip and bruschetta and I don't know, little smokies, all of these like little yummy munchy foods, kind of like little appetizers, and we just make a meal of appetizers basically all day. And as the hostess, I know that I could like potentially put that food away and then pull it out during the day, but it just doesn't ever happen that way, because I too am trying to socialize with my family. Being cooped up in the kitchen it's just not our plan as holiday celebrating family. So what ends up happening is that as the day goes on, I just eat all day. And they're like little plates, but you know, you get a little plate of chips and dip and you kind of like munch on that for a while, and then the plate's empty and you just kind of, you know, we play a lot of board games, so you finish up your rounds of board games and then you think, oh gosh, I haven't been chewing on something for a while. So you go back to the counter, or, you know, somebody mixes up the sauce and you're like, oh, I can smell that now, I want to go eat some. And I end up eating literally all day. Last year, I think that I gained like 5 pounds just in one day, because I just ate all day. And so this year, my strategy going into it is to try and block out meal times so that I don't just eat all day. And although the food will be out all day and the temptation's going to be there, I assure you, and I'm hoping that I'm successful, but we'll kind of see how that goes. But I'm going to have my 3 meals. So I will have breakfast, and then I'm gonna make sure I load up with a bunch of like vegetables or fruits. Really, it's breakfast, so we don't really have vegetables for breakfast in my family. But we will be having cinnamon rolls, and I'm gonna be serving fruit along with it. So I'll try to get a huge pan of fruit and then just do like 1 cinnamon roll instead of 4 cinnamon rolls and no fruit, which is usually what happens. So, and then I'm gonna just walk away and I'll play games and have a big glass of water by me all the time so that I'm not gonna be just munchy all day. And then when it's time for snack at 10 or at noon for lunch, I'm gonna give myself a plate of food, and I'm really gonna try and focus on a couple of things when I'm feeding myself. I know there's probably some of you really healthy people out there that maybe are like, you should probably serve healthy food, so then you're not feeling like, I think I even talked about this in my last video, to provide healthy options so that you're not tempted for all of the things you shouldn't be consuming. But I just love food, and I feel like the holiday is my excuse to enjoy it, whereas during the rest of the year we either A, can't afford, the fun cheeses and dips, or B, I'm supposed to be dieting, so I'm not gonna like go out and intentionally bring it into my home. Where here I feel like it's the holiday, it's my one opportunity to not feel guilty for buying this food and bringing it into my home. So those of you who are out there and like thinking in your brain, just don't buy the food, I hear you, but I'm not gonna listen to you. Sorry. Okay, so what was I saying before? So anyway, as I'm preparing these plates of food and feeding myself, I'm gonna really try and focus on having half of my plate with a vegetable option, and this is not like your candied yams as a vegetable option or your like stuffed potato or whatever, but like greens and orange and red and like all of these colorful vegetables as like a vegetable tray. And then I'm also gonna try and focus on a good healthy protein so that I'm not constantly just munching because I always feel hungry. Protein is a really great source to fill your tummy and help you feel full longer. And then another great source is fiber, and trying to include that fiber. So you do get good fiber from the vegetables and stuff, and also from the protein source. So boiled eggs I'm gonna have boiled eggs as an option, and anyway, lots of kind of good stuff so that I'm hopefully not always tempted to go to the breads and the dips and the chips and that sort of thing, which is what I usually want to go to. So anyway, in thinking about my strategy, my first strategy is to have a game plan for my overeating and not overeat all the time. Okay, my second strategy that I've kind of been thinking about is I would want someone to tell me that there is benefit in visualizing yourself in the moment or in the party and watching yourself make these choices. And that visualization is then in your mind when you go to the event or you're having the people in your home or you're at the meal, so that you hopefully will trigger those memories and want you to make healthier choices. You will make a conscious effort to make the choices. Now, sometimes I'll try and tell myself, this isn't the last time that I'll ever have the choice to eat this. I will be able to eat it again. And sometimes that works, and let's be honest, most of the time it doesn't. But if that works for you, that's another little tip that you can do. But a lot of times, if I visualize something, then like I mentioned, it triggers that memory of visualization when the moment is here, and it just kind of helps me make a better choice. Maybe I have, choose one roll and then another side instead of just consuming a bunch of rolls while I'm sitting at the table. Or anyway, so you get the idea. So I would kind of recommend that as a strategy. Just kind of visualize yourself at the event. If it's a work party, visualize the venue, who is going to be there, where will you be sitting, or what type of seating is going to be available, what will you be wearing, all of those kinds of things. Just kind of visualize in your mind. And then when that moment comes, or like, what's the weakness? Is it going to be a drink that you want to have a couple of cocktails, or is it that you want to gorge out at the appetizer table, which is where my weakness is? How are you going to combat that and come up with a visualization plan? So for me, I've decided that when we're all playing games, typically I like to just sit and listen to there's my boy. I just like to play the game and have a plate of food to eat. So I'm gonna try and have a plate of vegetables and a cup of water instead of all of the munchy foods, at least most of the time when I choose to go to the buffet table and fill up my plate. Now, I'm guaranteeing you that I'm going to make choices that probably are against my health patterns, or my health goals, but anyway, I'm hoping that having like that visualization and having the game plan that I will be successful. Anyway, guys, I hope that that's kind of helpful for you as a Wellness Wednesday. I would encourage you to kind of like get through YouTube and get some other Wellness Wednesday tips, whether from my channel or if you look on others' channels. There's lots, like I know Just So Trish does one. So anyway, it's just kind of helpful to visualize it and write it down on paper, like what is your plan, so that you at least are in a place of awareness when you go into these holiday seasons, and hopefully you can find some tips or some strategies that'll help you choose health, so that at the end of the holiday seasons, like I mentioned, that you feel like you haven't taken a huge step backwards, having to push forward again, which I don't know, like sometimes I feel like I'm always there. I'll meet my little like benchmark of what I think health is. I have this list of what I think health is, and then I reach a benchmark of that, and it all just goes out the window, and I don't know. Anyway, so I haven't been super successful myself. I'm really trying to organize kind of a better plan. There is a health challenge that's coming up. It's sponsored by the company called Take Shape for Life, and I'm going to be giving you guys some more information on that here in a couple of weeks when they launch it a little bit more. But there's a team that I join, and you have to collect certain points during the day, and sometimes that helps keep me honest. So anyway, I'll give you some information. Check the description box below. If I can find the website, then I'll make sure and put it there. It's Holiday Health Games is what it is during December, but I'm not sure what they're going to call it in January. So anyway, check that description box below, and there'll be a link if you want to see kind of more, and then I'll give you some more information as it comes. I'll put a video up here in a couple of weeks about the Holiday Health Games. I believe that it starts January 9th, and then I think it's probably 4 to 6 weeks. Anyway, so that was kind of a really side tangent, but anyway, guys, happy Wednesday, happy week, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all of you. Hopefully at the end of the holidays, again, we feel like we did make good choices, and we're proud of ourselves, and we're not going away from the party feeling overfed and just engorged with food. So let's try to make some healthy choices. I will commit to make healthy choices if you will commit to make healthy choices as well. Hopefully you feel a little bit motivated to, take control of your own choices. So anyway, have a great one, guys, and we'll see you again on another video. Bye.